From man to machine in 180 days, your ultimate guide to getting jacked, stacked, and taking life by the balls in 6 months or less.
Alright, let's get started. First off, welcome to my video. Today's video will be a little different than my typical eating and training vlogs because today I'm going to break down the exact method that I used to take myself from skinny, weak, and low testosterone to jacked, high testosterone, and confident, all without giving up my favorite foods, spending hours in the gym, doing tons of cardio, using minimal supplementation, and without using any performance-enhancing drugs, and show you how you can implement it into your life too, putting you on the path to be the most jacked, powerful, and confident version of yourself in as little as 180 days. So put your phone on silent, find somewhere quiet, and pay close attention because the information that I'm about to give to you today can literally change your life. Is the man-to-machine method right for you? Who this method is for? This method is for men wanting to gain muscle as efficiently as possible, men tired of information overload, men who feel like they have tried everything without the results to show for it, men with huge goals but no clear path from getting from point A to point B, men ready to commit to 3 or more gym days weekly, men willing to trust the process, take action, and finally build an elite body and mind, men ready to lead by example and become an inspiration to their family, friends, and peers. Who this method is not for: guys unwilling to try new approaches, program hoppers and fad dieters, those seeking quick fixes, men unwilling to work hard in the gym and earn real results, and men who don't believe in their ability to change for the better, because it all starts in the head. Here's the truth about getting jacked naturally that no one will tell you. You absolutely can get lean, muscular, and strong without having to slave away with long bouts of cardio, 3-hour workouts, living off of chicken and broccoli, sustainably creating a strong and aesthetic physique, all the while still being able to enjoy life, creating a physique that becomes an extension to live better, do more, and create opportunities, rather than being a miserable grind or a huge sacrifice that takes away from your life. However, most guys will never achieve this because they don't understand the fundamentals of properly training hard enough to grow without overtraining and burning themselves out, eating to fuel their workouts in a way that also helps sustain high testosterone levels naturally, creating a lifestyle that supports their training goals while allowing them to actually live and enjoy life, nor do they have the mindset and accountability practices in place to learn how to overcome roadblocks, setbacks, and whatever else life might throw at them in their pursuit of becoming their best self. By watching this today, you've taken the first steps towards avoiding the simple and avoidable mistakes that keep most guys spinning the reels for years while others seem to make progress, insane amounts of progress, in just a matter of months. Few limiting beliefs to protect yourself from. I'm too busy to get real results. We can make great gains in as little as 3 workouts per week as long as we're training intensely and making progress. Number 2, my genetics suck. Welcome to the club. My genetics also suck. I'm definitely not built for bodybuilding, but I created a plan that took me from point A to point B, beat my genetics naturally without use of any performance-enhancing drugs. Number 3, if I want to get results, I need to hop on gear. You can build a physique better than 99% of guys out there by sticking to the basics of training, diet, and lifestyle and achieving an amazing, completely drug-free physique as long as the right systems are in place. So that's something that I have seen plenty of times too, where there's guys taking every supplement, hopping on steroids, doing, all the stuff that, they think is going to make them big and strong, but their program, diet, and intensity is in the wrong place, and in spite of everything that they're taking, they end up just, getting skinny fat or looking like a mid-tier natural guy, despite the fact that they're running gear. My man-to-machine method will give you every resource to level up your physique and life, surpassing what you thought was genetically possible, drug-free, and without giving your entire life to the gym. If this is the man that you want to become, in this breakdown we're going to go over exactly how to navigate around these issues, how in spite of being natural skinny and weak guy, I became the most jacked guy in the mosh pit, how you can be on your way to your dream physique and start getting results even quicker than I did by eliminating the guesswork and trial and error, and how to do all this in as little as 3 training days per week without giving up all of your favorite foods and enjoy life. And a little background on how I came up with this system. A little bit about me. Growing up, I was always a skinny kid, so skinny in fact that there was a period of time where I was prescribed weight gainer shakes by a doctor just to bring me up to the size of a typical kid my age. In spite of my small, weak stature, I had always looked up to the big action heroes, the Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator, Stallone and Rambo, and the heavy hitters in anime like Goku and Vegeta. So around the age of 14, fueled by 80s action flicks and Dragon Ball, I saved up and bought my first weight set and started training from home. Then around 15, I was able to get my first gym membership at a bodybuilding gym within biking distance, and the rest was history. From there, I learned and met many mentors, learned how to properly train and diet for muscle growth, did a few bodybuilding competitions, and placed pretty well. In spite of not having the genetics to pack on muscle, built the type of physique that would make my 12-year-old anime nerd self proud. Not long after my competitive run, I got married, bought a house, and had a couple kids. I was young, strong, had a cute wife, cute house, and things were great. Until they weren't. Because with life moving fast, so does the stress. And with the stress, I started letting my diet slip. My training sessions became less frequent. I was spending way too much time at work, and little by little, started losing my physique, my health, and all of the things that made me me, ultimately becoming a shell of the man that I once was. And in losing the man who I had built over the years, I truly lost everything. I ended up completely stopping training. My diet became just whatever, and with my genetics, that meant losing a ton of muscle. My testosterone levels dropped in the 200s. My sex drive went to zero at like 22 or 23 years old. Ended up going through a painful divorce, lost my house, and began living in a state of depression and anxiety. But in all this, there was a blessing and opportunity to reinvent myself, to overcome the adversities, fix my testosterone, overcome the depression and anxiety, and come out the other side a better man living in tune with my true calling and nature. Here I am looking like on the cover of a rap album here. My first step was fixing my testosterone levels naturally through diet, lifestyle, and smart supplementation. Next was getting back to my training, investing in a fitness coach to help me with that, as well as investing in other coaches and mentors to help with things such as spiritual practices, regaining confidence, and becoming better equipped with dealing with life stresses as to not dig myself deeper back into the hole of despair. Fast forward today, and I've built an even better physique than in my competition days through implementing everything I had learned, become more injury resilient. I didn't mention it on here, but I also had a couple shoulder surgeries in there, which was a 4.5-month recovery each. Maintain high testosterone levels naturally. I'm growing stronger each day through the system I've built, through my own adversity. And today I'm going to break down the system step by step and give you the tools needed to get jacked naturally. I'm making this guide to show you how to go from the skinny guy who's depressed and anxious, or the fat guy afraid to take his shirt off at the pool, to the jacked confident guy who is given props everywhere he goes because of his hard-earned physique, all in a matter of months. So pay close attention, because here's how it works. First off, I like to keep things as simple as possible. My man-to-machine method is built on 3 basic principles. That is recovery, nutrition, and training. With training, a lot of guys waste years in the gym not making progress due to lack of training intensity, too much volume, poor form, incorrect exercise selection, program hopping, chasing the pump and not actually making progress, and lacking the progression and staying the same. Most guys are an example of one or all of these mistakes. So in order to build the best physique of your life, feel good, and have fun with it, you must have a proper blueprint. My training method can be broken down to 3 simple parts at its core. Number 1, 2 top sets. This is my growth trigger. We're not here to get a pump. We're here to force adaptation. Of course, you will get a pump as long as your nutrition's in the right area, but the pump is not what creates the growth. It is the forced adaptation. This means that we're going to fight to get better each and every week, giving our muscles no choice but to grow. Each exercise has one mission. After 2 to 3 warm-up sets, you hit 2 all-out working sets in the 6 to 12 rep range. These sets go as close to failure as safely possible, with 0 to 1 rep left in the tank. No cheater reps, no length and partials, no garbage form, no wasted time, nothing that's just going to create a recovery debt and prevent you from growing to the best that you can be. Why this works: time and recovery are limited by pouring 100% into 2 perfectly executed top sets There's no reason to hit extra sets, supersets, drop sets, or spend hours in the gym. These workouts are quick and precise, stimulating growth by creating a recovery without creating a recovery debt that your body can't repay. Number 2, dominate the logbook. So every workout we enter with one goal: beat last week. Whether that's more weight, more reps, or better execution of reps. If you hit 8 reps last week, this week push for 9. If you've hit 12 reps, then add 5 to 10 pounds and restart the process. If you've been stuck for 2 weeks, switch out the movement and restart the climb. No guesswork, no feelings, just numbers and beating the you of last week. Number 3, frequency meets efficiency. This program hits every muscle group once to twice weekly, along with ample time to recover between sessions. As lifters, I believe we have become so in love with the process that we often forget that it is when we rest and recover that our bodies are actually able to grow. So my 3-day split at least, is upper A, where we hit 4 to 6 exercises, 2 top sets each, chest, back, shoulders, and arms. Lower body, target the hamstring, quads, and calves. We hit abs on this day as well. Same thing, 4 to 6 exercises, 2 top sets each. Finally, a second upper body day. That's 4 to 6 exercises, 2 top sets each, chest, back, shoulders, arm. Again, if you follow this system with intensity and consistency, you will get stronger, leaner, and more disciplined. So just for an example, my last upper body day, which was Sunday because I've been sick, it is Friday now, so I took a few days off to recover. I started my workout with floor presses, worked up to 2 heavy sets where I focused on beating my previous PR. I moved on to weighted chin-ups next after that. I did heavy lateral raises for 2 sets, alternating dumbbell curls, tricep pushdowns, and then I took a nice long walk afterwards just to help, put myself in a recovery state rather than my high intensity training state. 2 sets of everything, 6 to 12 rep range. Start heavier with, your 6, and then by the time you take that 6 and turn that into 12, it's time to jump up in weight and restart the process again. What about cardio? Cardio should be done often for general health, but not in long drawn-out sessions that bore you to death or eat away at muscle. As a base, simply focus on adding more activity throughout the day. This means getting more daily steps by taking your morning and evening walks to start and end your day, 10-minute walks after meals, which help with digestion, or the long post-work walk that I like to take to separate my work day from the rest of my day and get in the mindset to go from work mode to dad and training mode. I also like to implement higher intensity cardio once per week, usually in the form of the assault bike, sprints, or a rowing machine if available. These sessions are quick and intense with a goal of not only making me look better, but also making me healthier so that I can outlive my enemies. Long distance running. There are a lot of guys who run a lot and have great physiques. As long as you're eating enough carbs to fuel your workouts, you should be able to continue long distance running just fine and still make great progress in the gym. My personal experiences with this is I do occasionally go through a training block of 3 or 4 months where I do run pretty frequently, 3, 4, even 5 days a week. I just make sure that I cap my workouts, or cap my runs, I should say, at no longer than maybe 40 minutes. And also during, those days that I run, I increase my carbohydrates greatly. So it can be done. Is it the most optimal? No, probably not. But I've done it in blocks, and I know a lot of guys who are badasses that run, lift, fight, do all this. So it's possible as long as your nutrition and recovery is on point. Most guys have no idea what they're doing when it comes to nutrition. They either do extreme bulking and cutting, which destroys their metabolism health, or follow whatever fad their favorite fitness influencer is currently on, both of which are neither sustainable nor healthy in the long term. At the end of the day, nutrition comes down to balance, a balance of nutrient-dense whole foods to build muscle, stay healthy, and fuel high testosterone levels, along with the occasional splurge of less than healthy foods you love to reduce stress, keep you sane, and allow you to be social. On a personal level, for me, I have 1 to 2 untracked cheat meals per week where I enjoy pizza and burgers. the occasional drink, or maybe 5 if I'm at a concert. I will have evening ice cream covered in honey or maple syrup a few nights a week, which actually improves my sleep quality. Better sleep equals more gains. The leaner and the more muscular that you become, the easier it is to stay that way, even with like regular treat meals. But in order to become lean and muscular, you must first understand a few things when it comes to nutrition. And that would be your macros, food selection, and meal timing, especially around workouts. So first we'll talk macros. Macro or macronutrients are the protein, carbs, and fat that make up your daily meals. Protein and carbs have 4 calories per gram, where fat has 9 per gram, making it way more calorically dense than protein and carbs. We'll talk protein first. Protein is necessary for muscle repair, and we should aim for anywhere between 0.8 to 1.2 grams per pound of body weight per day. If you are enhanced, then you can, synthesize even more protein than this. As a general guideline, I aim for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight for myself and my clients during man-to-machine transformations. This is just a good middle ground so that you're not getting too little or too much. Carbohydrates get demonized a lot, especially with the rise of carnivore and keto fads, but if you want a full, strong physique, then they are necessary to fuel workouts and fill up your muscles. Carbs are necessary for energy, regulating the metabolism. Higher metabolism equals burning more calories with more food, replenishing glycogen stores, and necessary for hormonal health. I remember when paleo was super popular with the CrossFit community, and it's great. I love the food sources, but it ended up being so low carb that a lot of guys ended up having low testosterone and low sex drive because they were not eating enough carbohydrates. So eat your carbs. On a personal level as well, I feel my best eating between 300 and 400 grams of carbs a day. If I'm in one of those phases where I'm running more, then I increase this even further. I have one buddy, his name is Alex, not a client of mine, just a good friend. He is real big on his nutrition, and he's a fighter over in Thailand. And this guy, he eats between 500 and 600 carbs a day to fuel his trainings. Definitely eat your carbs. If you want to be your best, eat your carbs. If you show somebody that's jacked and strong and not eating any carbs, then I'll show you somebody who would be even way more jacked and strong if they were eating their carbs. So just trust me here. Next, we'll talk about fats. Fats are another group that gets a lot of hate amongst different sections of the fitness community, but are 100% necessary for hormonal health, nutrient absorption, and overall feeling good. I personally don't like to go super high fat like the keto guys, though I do occasionally have high fat days where I just live off of ribeyes because they're delicious. But for a guy my size, I consume between 70 and 80 grams a day while in a mass gaining phase, 60, 70 grams per day during a fat loss phase. Food selection. Changing up my food selection was huge when it came to rebuilding my physique after losing it. Prior to losing everything, I was eating like the typical gym bro during competition days, meaning chicken, brown rice, broccoli, egg whites, oatmeal, very little fat and very little sugar. In spite of looking good while competing, this was a recipe for low testosterone. Now I eat like a machine, dialed in specifically to foods that not only boost my testosterone, but keep my metabolism flowing. This includes eating tons of fruit every day for energy and micronutrients, beef and whole eggs for saturated fat, potatoes and sweet potatoes for my main carb sources. I no longer fear sugar, so I use honey and maple syrup as sweeteners, and enjoy root vegetables like carrots and beets. I still do eat a ton of chicken because it's a great lean protein source and makes it super easy to hit my protein goals, but I no longer solely rely on it for my macros. Essentially, I hit my macros every day with meat, eggs, fruit, potatoes, root vegetables, and a little bit of rice, perfect for the goals of myself and my athletes. Finally, let's talk meal timing. So, in spite of the popularity of intermittent fasting, I have found that it unnecessarily stresses out the body, spiking cortisol, and in turn doing more damage than it does good. So, I recommend everyone start the day with a good breakfast to blunt cortisol and get into a good muscle building mode. Then, 3 or 4 more meals throughout the day. Your day one, your meal one, I should say. I have starting the day with protein and carbs to blunt cortisol, Another option would just be doing a straight sugar meal, natural sugars. So I would say like a big bowl of fruit or something to get the day started. Easy on the stomach, blunts cortisol, and helps ramp up your metabolism. Nutrition around workouts. What you eat before, during, and after training has a huge impact on workout quality, recovery, and physique progress. About an hour before working out, consume a whole meal of lean protein, starchy carbs, salt, and natural sugars such as fruit. A watermelon with salt and honey is also a great option. Feel free to throw beets in here as well, as they are vasodilators and will help you get a better pump. During workouts, I like to consume around 50 grams of quick digesting carbs in liquid form with sodium, creatine to feed your muscles while you are training them. Personally, I use Gatorade, but if you want to go fully holistic, I would suggest a mix of fruit juice, coconut water, honey, and salt to sip on in between sets as long as your stomach can handle it. Personally, I don't have any problem with Gatorade. Some people in the holistic health space will tell me because of the dyes and some of the unnatural ingredients in it that it's going to kill my testosterone levels and I won't be optimal, but sometimes there's more to the whole fitness game than being optimal, and I have never had any symptoms of low testosterone from sipping on my Gatorade with creatine. Post-workout, consume a large meal of protein and carbs from lean meats, a starch such as rice or potatoes, salt, and more fruit. One huge thing to do prior to eating your post-workout meal is to meditate and relax. Take your body out of a sympathetic, stressed state before eating. Another good thing that you can do, like I said before, is take a nice post-workout walk. This will calm your body down after the intensity you just put it through and allow for better digestion and a better overall mealtime experience. Before we get on to recovery, a word on cheat meals and untracked meals. I like to integrate twice weekly cheat meals into my programs. Where this gives my clients and I something to look forward to, as well as allows me to go out and eat with friends and family, have a couple drinks, and take a nice break from the grind, which helps my mental state and digestion. On to recovery. Recovery is probably one of the most overlooked aspects when it comes to building a physique. As a people in today's age, we become so obsessed with the grind and the process that we forget that it was when we rest and recover that we can actually grow. And this boils down to one big thing: getting enough quality sleep every single night to fuel progress. When I was in man mode before going from man to machine, I was stressed out, working all the time, and only getting 5 hours of sleep a night. In turn, I was losing my hard-earned muscle, and this was also a huge contributor to my low levels of testosterone. There have been plenty of studies that show that guys who sleep 4 hours a night have half the testosterone of guys who sleep a full 8, so getting your sleep is a huge key in looking and feeling your best. A few things that help my sleep is waking up with the sun, killing blue light an hour before bed, sleeping in a cool dark room, no caffeine after 2 p.m., meditating and praying before bed, and going to bed at the same time every single night. These all sound very basic, but if you're a guy who struggles with getting good sleep, these tips will help fix that and set you up for better workouts, bigger muscles, and better overall well-being. So to recap, how my man-to-machine method helped me achieve my best form and can help you get there too. Train higher intensity 3 to 4 days per week, 4 to 6 exercises per workouts with 2 top sets to failure. Use a split that hits each muscle group twice per week so that you are in a constant state of growth, and make sure you get plenty of time off to allow your body to fully recover. Beat the logbook every week so that you know you are headed in the right direction. Track what you are eating and make sure to prioritize all macronutrients in the right amounts. Don't hop around trying different dietary fads that leave you spinning your wheels. Eat for muscle growth and testosterone with meat, eggs, fruit, rice, potatoes, and certain vegetables. Prioritize sleep and recovery. If you're not sleeping, you're not growing. So along with dialing in your training and proper nutrition, make sure that you are getting 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every single night. Now that you fully understand how this method works, I do have an offer for you. If you're a guy that's skinny, weak, and feel like they have tried everything and still don't have the physique they want, and are ready to finally look great with their shirt off, ready to dial in and finally get results, ready to pack on lean muscle and learn how to keep it, then I will coach you through the man-to-machine method so that we can replicate this process for you and see similar results in less than half the time it would take for you to do it on your own without the headache of trial and error. I'm so confident in my system that if you follow this process to a T and aren't a more muscular and better version of you within 180 days, then I will work with you for free until you do. If you want to see similar results to the ones that I have got and implemented this new lifestyle, hit the link in the description to book a call and let's talk about your goals. And if it's a good fit, we can talk about how to work together. If it's not a good fit, then I will still give you great value on the call and point you in the right direction. Look forward to talking to you all soon. Sweet Machine, out.